It has been a good summer with almost daily moderating morning fog and only a couple of short hot spells. The vines set a good crop, and we have had enough water from our wells to compensate for last year's light winter rainfall. So now we are ready for harvest. With last year's fires and resulting smoke taint, I must say that Matt and Karen from Meyer Family Cellars and everyone in the Napa Valley wine industry has been extra nervous. It didn't help that a couple of weeks ago we had another lightning storm, which never happens in California, until now apparently. I understand that 120 fires were started that night, but they were quickly put out by firefighting forces who have likewise been extra vigilant. So come along with me as we join in on the excitement of harvest. Up until recent years, all harvesting was done during the day. The same crews who tend to the vines all season long show up as soon as it gets light enough to see, and they harvest the crop with great speed and enthusiasm while the grapes and the weather are still cool. Grape pickers are paid by weight and paid very well, so they waste no time. This suits winemakers like Matt and Karen just fine. Like their fellow enologists, they wait and monitor the vineyard until the grapes are at the peak of perfection. Then they hope that the grapes can be harvested and delivered within hours of that apex of maturity and flavor. These days, vineyards are more frequently harvested at night. The object of early morning or night harvesting is to preserve the concentrated flavor and aroma of the grapes and offer a cooler working environment for the pickers. Also, if grapes are delivered to the winery cold, this means less energy and effort will be needed to keep the temperatures down in the fermentation tanks. Fermentation produces considerable heat, and winemakers do their best to maintain the fermentation of Cabernet in the mid-80s, and white fermentation even colder, 64 or 72 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on the variety. Night harvesting is accomplished with the use of portable diesel-fueled highway-style lights. The men and women who are harvesting the grapes wear reflective safety vests and headlamps. The vines have been managed in a way that keeps the fruit in an easy-to-see and reach area hanging just above the cordons. Small picking bins are placed on the ground under the vines. The clusters are removed quickly and easily with a curved knife, and they fall directly into the bins below. These bins are then dumped into larger plastic bins, which have been loaded on trailers and are pulled through the vineyard by tractors in the row adjacent to the active picking crews. Every year about this time, my children would miss half a day of school so they could pick grapes out in front of the house together with the professional crews. This small block of vineyard in front of our family home that goes into making famous Bonny's Vineyard Cabernet only takes 2 or 3 hours to harvest, so the kids were back in school by lunchtime. I think it was always meaningful and exhilarating for them to be a small part of the excitement of harvest and have some appreciation for what it takes to be a farmer with only one payday a year. There have been harvests when the rains came early, and not only did the grapes get soggy, but the vineyards got so muddy, navigating the rows with tractors became very difficult. There have been times when a freak hailstorm came through, severely damaging ripe fruit. Then there were the fires starting in 2017, with 2 fires last year that made our grapes unusable because of smoke taint. So now, more than ever, everyone breathes a sigh of relief as the bins leave on flatbeds or trailers on their journey to the winery. It is a good feeling to know that the year's work in the vineyard is safe and finished. I hope you enjoyed this video about harvest. It is the culmination of the whole year of our attention, of the vine's effort. It's the most important day in the vineyard of the year. So I hope you enjoyed being a little part of that excitement and felt the excitement of everyone participating in the harvest. So this is DiVine Conversations with Bonny Meyer. I'll see you next time.